So this is a little video about these Injora inserts here. Um, and the problem that I'm discovering with them is, the only real problem, to be honest with you. And it's a problem that plagues regular foams as well, but not so noticeably as these ones here. So this is a inner bead lock ring. I haven't actually cut the tape on that yet, so we'll use this one here as the example. So the problem is that when the bead lock ring is mounted inside the tire, or inside the foam rather, and then everything's held together by the side walls of the tire don't have enough strength to keep this bead lock ring from sliding within the silicone. So what'll happen is, as the tire is rolling over on its side like this, then the axle's pushing on the wheel, the bead lock ring will slide like this, which will cause the foam to offset like so. And then what'll happen is, so your side hilling, your foam will move, which will reduce the track width of your vehicle. And this, of course, makes it easier to roll over, which is a large part of the reason why these foams are so great, is because they don't really flex side to side like a regular foam does, and they don't compress under side hilling load. So what I've done is, and I'll pause the video here in a second while I do this, but essentially what I've done is I have covered my inner bead lock ring with a double-sided tape. It comes in a roll like this, 2 inches wide. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this outside layer off, which will reveal a very thin layer of double-sided tape. However, the silicone won't stick to the double-sided tape. It will just come off. It'll just, it'll eventually let go. And CA glue doesn't, I've tried this, doesn't work very well. When you have the aluminum against the silicone with CA glue, the CA glue doesn't really want to grab a hold of the silicone either. It doesn't want to bond or even really dry very well between the two surfaces. Mostly because it creates an airtight gap, and so you get a little bit of glue dry around the edge, but nothing really dries in the middle. I've taken one of these apart afterwards and found still wet CA glue in the middle of it. So what I'm going to do then is, this is 400 grit sandpaper. Never mind the brand, it's just regular 400 grit. And what I'm going to do is tape this to the outside of the bead lock ring. And what this does is twofold. One, the sandpaper actually gives quite a bit of grip, quite a bit more compared to just the raw aluminum or even the double-sided tape. The sandpaper takes quite a grip on the silicone, but it can still move. However, if you then apply some thin CA glue to the very edge, what it will do is it will create a bit of an overlap between the aluminum bead lock ring and the inner portion of the silicone tire foam. And what this will do is it will prevent it from moving side to side utterly and completely. I haven't not yet been able to force it without, exerting obviously an intense amount of force, but that would never be seen on a scale crawler. So this is my plan going forward. Now I've already put one together, partially assembled here, this one. As you can see, I haven't even finished putting the screws in it yet. And this will be a front tire. That's why it has the ring weights in there. But no matter how hard I push, within reason, these crawlers only weigh, a few pounds, 8-10 pounds. But I mean, I could put a lot of pressure. Like, I'm really pressing on this right now, and yet it's still perfectly centered within the wheel. It hasn't shifted at all. Let me pause this for a second, and I'll get a different wheel, and I'll show you the difference. Okay, I'm back. This is a wheel off a different car. It's the same wheel, just obviously dirtier and you know, a little older, you know, whatever. But same wheel, same silicone foam inside. But if let's pretend I'm on a side hill and I push it, well, now the tire's offset. You see, you can force the rim all the way out like that. See? See that? So now I would have to recenter it, and you see it slides through the other way, right? So this can happen while you're on the trail, right? That narrows out your track width too much, makes the truck more prone to tipping over. This widens your track width too much. You know what I mean? Can cause the truck to rub, the tires can rub and bind against the bumper and things like that, especially if you have a tight fit body. So by doing what I've done, I can't move this within the center of the tire. It is firmly planted. And of course, because these foams are so resistant to squishing from the side, but yet so soft and supple going this way, I get the advantage of both worlds. I get the nice soft, you know, the you know, grip and climb over things and whatnot. And I don't have to worry about you know, it rolling under. And you know, sometimes they can roll under so bad you drive your rim against a rock. So I think that this is a solution for anyone who has a truck. And the heavier the truck, the more important this solution becomes. So I think I may have found a solution to this problem for anyone who has it. So I'm going to finish building these, and later on down the road I'm going to test them on a new SCX10 Pro kit that I just bought. It's not going to be a very heavy truck, but the proof of concept will be there. So let's see how it turns out. And yes, I am going to take these apart and do that as well, because these are the tires I discovered the problem with, and I really wasn't happy with the overall performance of side hilling once it started to slide on the wheel. And I noticed the difference, you know. So thanks for watching. And, you know, this is my first ever crawler-oriented video. So, you know, I come up with some pretty good ideas, I think, and I'd like to share them. So hopefully you guys will subscribe and check them out. Thanks for watching.